That's right, back better than ever. Back better than ever. This is the Mike Sevilla radio program. Check it out at drmikesevilla.com. That's right, episode 1 was August 30th, 2007. You can find it on iTunes, and I also played a snippet of it last time on episode 313. And first off, I do want to thank everybody out there for your continued support of me and of the show and of the blog. I have no idea why you do that. But I say this a lot. I am humbled. I am humbled by people who want to hear what I am going to talk about. It is the social media thing has just been a great ride for me over the past few years, and I have gotten to meet a lot of people digitally, got to meet a lot of people online, who then I have went to meet in person. And I cannot tell you how much fun I have had over the past few years, being silly online, telling my story, correcting bad information that's out there, doing some patient education, doing some advocacy work out there. All that because of social media. If you would have told me back in the day, back in high school and college and even medical school, that I would be this pseudo-internet superstar, wouldn't even know what the internet is. I remember getting my first, we could get nostalgic here. Remember getting your first email address? That's right, email address. Remember getting your first smartphone, your first phone in general, cell phone? It was like one of those brick phones. Remember what your first computer is? I know all the geeks out there are like, having fun with this. All you non-geeks, I know you just have to tolerate this for a few minutes as I get nostalgic here. Who would have known it would have got to this, where people know me for talking into a microphone in this lonely little room in the Dr. Mike Sevilla studios here in beautiful northeastern Ohio. So it's been fun to listen to some of the old episodes. I'll be sharing them with them here with you, so you don't have to go back and download them all. I will share them with you, especially as I've seen people, my peers who I have started with back 5, 6, 7 years ago, who are taking different paths now, who are not as out there, who have retired or who have gone on to bigger and better things, or who said I'm done. So it will be fun to go back and listen to all that stuff, read some of all that stuff, and give you kids out there some of the history of this. You need to know some of the history of the social media people that came before you, that laid the groundwork for you out there. So you can be out there twerking on YouTube. You don't know what that is? Just Google that. Just Google that. You'll know what I'm talking about. So thanks. Thanks again for all your support, just for me on Twitter and Facebook and the podcast and all of my social media projects. It's been fun. I won't go over the whole quitting thing again, but I quit and I came back and it's I won't review that whole thing, but it was fun to do, and it was fun to take a break, and now I'm back, and not as intense as before, being a little bit more choosy about being online and how much I am online, and maybe I'll share some of that stuff on the air here as well. As far as, Mike, how do you have the time for all this? That is always an ongoing question that I have from people. So thanks again there for all of that, and my topic 2 will be coming up here, and I will talk about my time in Boston here coming up. So stay tuned here on the Mike Sevilla radio program. Go to drmikesevilla.com, and we will be right back after I find a song here to go to. I haven't podcasted here in a while, so I will. I don't even remember how to do this. Oh, man, we'll be right back. Oh, before that, breaking news here, kids. Breaking news here. We have a friend on the line, a friend who's calling in, who has alerted me he's called in. I usually don't take calls because it's usually riffraff. But let's see, Mr. Greg Freeze is on the line here. How are you, sir?
I'm very good. Very good. Thanks for taking my call.
How you been? Thanks for calling in.
Well, I've been good. My ears perked up when you said a few moments ago that some podcasts have been able to leave podcasting and move on to bigger and better things, and I want to know how to do that. I'm still podcasting all these years, just like you.
We're still here. We haven't sold our souls there, Greg. We're still doing our thing.
Yeah, that I thought, there's something after podcasting. I got to find out what that is.
I haven't found it either, my friend. I don't.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, what's your secret sauce for longevity?
Take a lot of breaks. Don't get burned out, and don't try to get caught up in the hype. If you start believing your own hype, you'll crash and burn, I think.
Yeah, I guess I'm still waiting for the hype. 7 years from now, who will you have had on as a guest in the next 7 years that you'll look back on and be like, oh, I can't believe I got so-and-so to come on the show, and that was awesome.
Probably you, Greg. That's you'll be the only guest left who want to come on my show.
Because I love an audience.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I read these things all the time that podcasting is dying and podcasting is making a comeback, and social media is going out and social media is coming back in, and I don't know. I mean, it's I still think this is fun, and I still think that it's fun talking with people. It's fun talking to myself. It's fun sharing information, and it's fun connecting with people like you. Without social media, I would have never had connected with the EMS community and seeing all the great stuff you guys are doing out there. And I know you're doing a lot of great stuff with education, and I've learned a lot from all the people that I've run into doing this stuff.
See how being part of the Pro Med Network has introduced a lot of us to one another. That I was real focused on the EMS side of podcasting, but being part of the Pro Med Network opened me up to the other topics and shows and things to listen to as well. So, but I just want to give you a big congratulations, and 7 years, and you just got to keep me posted when you find out what that bigger and better thing is, because I'm going to follow you.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think it was maybe a couple months ago. I think I heard either it was a Google Plus meeting or something like that, kind of an EMS state of podcasting or something like that. I think it's on the program somewhere, and it was good kind of seeing you guys kind of reminisce a little bit as far as your own personal beginnings and the beginnings of EMS social media, EMS podcasting. That was fun to kind of listen to that.
Well, yeah, it was a state of EMS podcasting. Myself and Jamie Davis, Jim Hoffman, and John Broyles were 4 folks that are fairly regularly producing content for the EMT and paramedic audience. Chris Montera has recently relaunched the EMS Garage podcast after a fairly long hiatus, but he promises a lot of new shows. And the EMS Leadership podcast comes out, and Emergency Medical Services. Maybe you have listeners that aren't familiar with the acronym, but it's EMTs and paramedics that answer 911 calls and move injured people from home and accidents to the hospital, or even between hospitals, or sometimes even the family practice office, right? When somebody comes in and you say, oh, you should not be here, you should be in the emergency department.
Yes, we get that sometimes. People who don't want to go to the ER for one reason or another, and you get there and they're like, "You're a little bit more serious than what we can handle, but we'll try to do what we can to get you to the hospital."
Yeah, right on. Right on. We appreciate that. Keep sending them. And keep doing the show. As long as it's fun for you and you get good stuff out of it, carry on.
Yeah, but before I let you go, Greg, I know you kind of hinted at already, but go ahead and plug your projects and your shows there. I invite my audience to kind of check out things that you're doing. You're just doing your EMS Educast.
Yeah. So the EMS Educast is the podcast by and for EMS educators, so the folks that teach EMTs and paramedics, and it's myself and Rob Terrio and Bill Toon. We have new shows maybe 2 or 3 times a month. We're closing in on episode 180, and you can find that at emseducast.com as well as the ProMed Network. And we've got some sort of error going on right now, and the show's not available on iTunes, but we're working hard to fix that because that's the place you want to be. And so that's a good place to start. And of course, I have a social media problem, kind of like you, and I spend a lot of time on Twitter at GFreeze, as well as Facebook and all those other spots. So thanks for the opportunity to say hello, and I wish you the best.
Yeah, you're welcome. And also, I want to plug your you guys' in-person meetings are always fun. I know there's always one in the spring and there's always one in the fall. I think EMS Today and EMS Expo. That's where the real fun is, getting people in person after connecting all year. I'll have to get back to one of those in-person meetings because you guys really know how to not only have a good time in person, but also even do like live podcasting at meeting sites, which is very fascinating to me. And I've been trying to get my own family medicine community to do that a little bit. And it's even more fun getting to see people in person, don't you think, Greg?
Oh yeah, so we'll be at EMS World Expo in Las Vegas in a couple weeks, and you can just go to emsworldexpo.com. But the Medicast that Jamie Davis hosts, he's our real coordinator of those live podcasting shows. But we'll have a booth in the trade show exhibit hall, really, I guess, much bigger area than the sort of standard booth, where we'll be doing live episodes of shows all day long. Sometimes those get streamed live on the web. I set my episodes up as short interviews with people that are presenting or visiting the expo, where we talk about maybe hot products in the exhibit hall or presenters that they have seen. And it's a way for us, family medicine community might be kind of similar, but even in a show like the EMS World Expo that attracts, say, 5,000 or more EMTs and paramedics, that's just a fraction of the total population of EMTs and paramedics. So by live podcasting and then archiving those shows, we can bring some of the content and excitement of EMS Expo or EMS Today, which will be in February in Washington, D.C. We can bring that to the much larger EMS community and share out the excitement of a large trade show. And I can only speak for myself, and I always go to bed early at trade shows. I have too much to do to stay up late to enjoy the wild nightlife, but I understand a lot of my colleagues really enjoy it.
That's a good denial. Well, nice work. Excellent, Greg. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, what I always like to do is get up early and go running. Fitness is fairly important to me. So I like, in a couple of weeks when we're in Las Vegas, just right before sunrise is like perfect time to go out for a run on the Strip, run from, I'll go all the way from, I think it's Stratosphere all the way to Mandalay Bay and back, and sort of take in the sites. The sidewalks are fairly empty, so you can run, but there's still enough people sort of stumbling out of the casinos that you can have some interesting people watching. So if anyone wants to join me for a sunrise run on the Strip, that's where I'll be a couple mornings during the EMS World Expo.
Very good. Yeah, I'll be very curious following the Twitter feed for that. I'll be sharing that out as well. And Greg, thanks so much not only for calling in, but your support of me and the stuff that I do through the years. It's been fun to have us kind of share our stories and see how we can, we're working together, for best patient care. It's just been a great ride, and want to thank you again for calling in the show today.
Well, happy to do so. And 7 years, like whoever would have figured you'd spend 1/4 of your young life podcasting.
Thanks, Greg.